Two. Okay. There's not. Okay. We're not doing grammar, Gwakap. We're not doing grammar. So, yeah. So we have the NG. Whenever you see NG, it's reverbing. Okay, whenever we have NG, it is nga, not nga. So, but when you have NGG, this one is then this is g, and then this is a. You have to break the sounds into components. But then the consistency of spelling the words is where the problem is, because in Tyap we have some words that are not consistently spelled according to the orthography. An example of that word is this very word. Who knows the meaning of this word? Atongwat. But is it not supposed to be spelled like this? Because if you don't put the double N according to the orthography, this is Atongwat. This is Atongwat according to our orthography. Because this is this is T, this is then this is Na, NG is Na, and then this is W, this is A, this is T. What? Yes, but this is supposed to be the actual spelling. So you have a tongue, then what? But we are just spelling it like this and imagining that this is the spelling. So the first spelling, is it valid? That's the valid spelling currently. Yes. I think there's a U sound after the So you see this NW. This NW is actually supposed to be like this. This is nga. This is labialized nga sound. NW is labialized nga sound. So if you are going to write it phonetically, this is mwa, this is mwa, this is mwa. How do you pronounce it the entire? If you add maybe here, you add you. No. You only have a U if you are elongating this one. What? So in Tyap we have this one, and then we have this one. You can see. This is one. This is one. Yeah. Okay, no, I'm saying it so that you understand it slowly. So what? So that what that you are trying to explain, what? You added the food to it. Okay. It's just to stress it. Yeah. So that's why we actually need to understand in the language how many possibilities we have, how many we don't have. Okay. So you said we should adopt the third one with one sheet. No, this is what the Bible translators give us. That's what we use. But the actual one that's supposed to be spelled correctly, this is the correct orthography. According to our orthography, this is the correct spelling. So if you still write this, you're not wrong. I'm not sure you are wrong. It now has to do with traditional rendition and what is actually right. Just like the English word. You see this word spelled like this. Why is it? It's kni. That's English. Actually, that's the actual English word. Like German language, this is knie. It's the same thing. They pronounce it as knie. Knie. But English, small time they softened this one, and then they deleted the K because they were modernizing or they were trying to spoil the language until they spoiled it. And then now we are speaking the spoiled English and calling the spoiled English correct. Meanwhile, the actual English, they have killed it. Before now, if they hear you speaking this one, you are spoiling the language. But now they now say this is the standard English. And if you are not careful, that's the way the Tyap language will become. You hear some people, they will say, Hatanundio. It's what they will write like Hatanundio. But this is not Tyap. We have this word, but why are we changing it? Everything is Hausa language. And then to annoy you, they'll use Tyap intonation to pronounce it to show you that they are speaking Tyap. Okay. So this is Tyap. Kyang Buak Hu Li Ni. So it's either Ni or Nini, can you? Nini is the full form, then Ni is the short form. Kwamba Kulini, Kwamba Kukwai Ni. But our books have arrived. But this one is when you are greeting somebody in the morning, can you? But this one, anytime. How is the family? Kyamba Kulini, anytime. Kyamba Kulini, that's their language. Not Yayaliji. What is your life here? Okay, Yayaliji fa. Don't quite life here. Sanu. So it's like using the intonation of the language to speak a foreign language, which is very annoying because somebody who doesn't know the language will not know that it's not the language. And you know how someone will be hearing everything you are saying. He knows everything you are saying. And in your mind you are speaking Tyap. But if you say this one, Kyambwa, he will not have any idea. Who, he doesn't have idea. Li, he doesn't have idea. Ni, he doesn't have idea of anything. Okay? Yeah. So instead of saying Sanu, you say Fo, Foango. Instead of Sanuang, Fo Muntamam. Okay, so Fo Mutam, that's Sanu Mutam. So just be replacing this Sanu with Fo. But when it now comes to the greeting now, Akwai do Kankaranga, Akwai Shama, Akwayan Shama, then the response is Kwayan Sham Kani, Kwayan Sham, or Kankarambot, Mansham, Kwayan Sham. There are many responses and many ways of greeting in Tyap. And then for afternoon and evening, we have one form, Akwa Mama or Akwa Mam Kankaranga. And Juku self, they have a way of saying it very close, but I don't know which part of Jukun. They'll say Sabama for good afternoon and good evening. Sabama. And but good afternoon, good evening in Tyap is Akwa Mama and Akwa Kankaranga or Akwa Yanshama, Akwa Shanshama, Ashowa, Teba. So we have many ways of greeting, and then for good night, or should I write it down? Okay. So let me clean this one. Okay, so so yun. So for good morning, we say Akwayan Shama. Akwayan Shama. Okay, so this word you can actually have a replacement for this very word. So sometimes you can say Akwai Shama, and then another time Akwai Kankaranga. Akwai Kankaranga, Akwai Shanshama, Akwai Anshama, any of them. And you can choose not to even say it like this. Ashiba. Ashiba. Kankarambot. And that's for singular. Oh. This A is for singular. This is for singular. A, you. But you can say ni for plural, more than one. Nikwai Kankaranga, Nikwai Shanshama, Nikwai Anshama. And what is the response? Kwayan Shankani. Or Mansham. Okay, Mansham. Okay, Mansham. Okay. So sometimes Nido Kankaranga, can you? So instead of saying sheep or kwai, you can also say dude. It all depends on what is in your mind. So you can switch it according to how you want to say it and it is still correct. The only thing is you cannot say a shamtoton. Okay, a shamtoton, like Igbo. That you are translating it literally. Good morning. A shamtoton. A shamatoton. Does it make sense in here? A shamatoton. Sometimes it makes sense. So somehow it makes sense. Yeah. No, dude is to stand up. Literally, just stand up. But kwai is to sleep over the night, from night to morning. Rice where ado shasham, or aship. Sheep is to wake. Aship kankaranga. And take note of the spelling. It's not like this. It's not sheep. We don't have this word in Tyap. We only have sheep. It must be palatalized. So going. So this is actually our book, but we are not going to give it for free. Oh. You have to buy it. The reason is because we can give it for free, oh, but you know value it. So this one, how much are we going to sell it even? It's all part of it. It's good for you to have it. You know, share. Yeah, so everything's inside. Fine. That's the equivalent of lafia. Yes. Yeah. Kankaran, kankan. That's kankan for strong. Kankan strong. But kankaran fine. Can you? So this book, should we sell it for 3,000? But just to be very, very kind of fair with you, we'll just give for only 1,000 naira. You just sow a seed. It's to sow a seed, and then you have this one, and then you can buy two. Maybe we'll do debit for you. If you buy two or more, you can sell it for you for 900. Eh? Ah, 1,000. Chikobi Juma. Zunalia and you. Chikobi Juma. Chi. Okobuni. No, Chena. Mo Chena. Zunatinang. cukup ichijum kai apa lah kai so yours biang yours biang kalak anya zira katuganya so nyawa na liyan zindio zichat wana liya kanya okay that's enough okay so the reason for all of these examples is for you to take note of the sounds. If you look at this one is ansham. Okay, so this one is ansham, not unsham. So we have very few words in Tyap that start with a instead of and this one is one of those few ones, and it's actually a short form of this shanshamu. It's a short form of shansham. So whether you choose if you choose to say shansham is fine. If you choose to remove the inside and say ansham is still fine. Not ansham, ansham, not ansham. Okay, but this one is not kankarang. It's not kankarang. It's kankarang. So this one is akwai anshama or akwai shanshama or akwai kankaranga. The answer is still the same thing. So you just say kwayansham, kwayansham, or kwaishansham, or kwaikankarang. You just remove the pronoun and then remove the question marker. Kwayansham, kwaikankarang, kwaishansham. So just take note of the and if we are going to write it phonetically, we are going to write kankarang phonetically, we are going to write it like this. This is phonetically kang, ke, rang. Easy phonetically. Yeah, it's very easy now. Instead of writing ng, just draw the, because it's like this, like this, like this. So you remove this body like this and then attach it. It's easier like this. And shansham phonetically, so instead of sh, this is sh. It's easy. And instead of ansham now, we have ansham phonetically. Just that we have to put this one now. Yes. These are forward slashes. And if you choose to put it like this, this is backslash or backward slashes. And then if you put it like this is a pipe. Yes. But you can still choose to put it in square brackets. So we still have the parentheses. And then we still have the curly brackets or curvy brackets. They all have names, and all of them, they have functions in Wikipedia and Wikimedia projects. It's good to know all of them. They're a way of expanding your knowledge, to blow your knowledge. So, Ashir, when you were not around, we divided everybody into groups. So your own short, we call it short. That's your team now. Is ER's team. Okay, Mashan's team. Can you? Okay, Mugwakaba. Okay, Guakab. So you belong to Guakab's short. Short is still the same thing as you. You say short, Tyap says short. It's still the same word. Short G for both of them. So don't say that you don't understand Tyap. It's the same language. Okay, Shaya. So it's the same thing, both Tyap and Ju, sort. And the plural form is Susot. But I'm not sure about the plural form for Ju. Maybe Kabansot. Okay, Kabansot is Abansot. Abansot, that's small sort. Okay. Or Bakansot. It should be Bakansot. Or Nasot. Sort. Sort, it doesn't have plural. Still the same sort. Okay, so this is phonetic, but don't worry yourself so much about phonetic science. But to make it, to open your knowledge more, Kanuri language has this sound, but they write it like this. So they are A, B, C, D, E, and then But ours, we carry the and bring it after the A, then and then we don't write it with E inverted. I mean, the others flipped. We write it as A underscore. So this very sound, A underscore, we find it in Ju, we find it in Shingini, that's a Kambari. We find it in, well, I don't know how many languages, but all this region that has this sound, they write it this way with a dash under. That's the reason why we use a keyboard called the African keyboard. So if you want to type Tyap very well, please go to Google Play Store, search for African keyboard, and then you download African keyboard. You'll be able to type not just Tyap, you'll be able to type any other language in Nigeria and in Africa. So Tyap doesn't have the it has but it's not listed as part of the alphabet. Like lien, for example, to know. It's not lien, it's lien, and open E, lien. Even though some people would say lien, to know, but it's lien. That's phonetically like this. So in phonetics, in the IPA keyboard, this, I'm sorry, it's like this, it's this way. That this lambda like sign is representing palatal L. Ordinary L is still L in phonetics, and then this one is ly, and then we have lien, and then na. So there are languages that actually use this as their own main alphabet. For example, the Gungbe language that is spoken in Cotonou, for example, language, they use this IPA to write. Dagbani language in Ghana, they use IPA. And some other languages like Berom also uses IPA. But Berom doesn't use all the symbols of the IPA. So instead of writing it like this, like Yoruba will write it like this with a dot under, they will use, or writing it like this as Izero will write it, they will use this one that looks like 3. But it's the same thing, the same sound, open E. So we have close E, and then we have open E. And then we have A and A, 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 A. Don't worry, we'll have test. So that will test your understanding. Yes. So in your exercise book, your exercise. Okay, so we have this words again. This is fact. Okay. 1 o'clock. Okay, this is 46. So this is fact. This is fuck. This is fuck. Then E. So we have this word Zufonga. Are we all listening? Okay, so we have and then we have e, then e, e, s, c, s, c. You understand the sounds? Okay, who can pronounce this one? Okay, so the transcription is, oh sorry, we do like this. Bam, 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 bam. That's finger millet. What the Hausa will call, so this is bam. That's bam. The phantom don't have this one, they call it like this, bam. But Tyap is bam. But in Tyap there are three different spellings. Whenever you see EA, we always have two variants. So the first variant is, and then the second variant is, whenever you see EA, even it is this word like this, there's a variant like this, and then there's another variant. It's always like this. Akayang, akayang, akiyang, akiyangka. Many people will say akiyang. This is the standard spelling, EA. Even this word, Zayam. Some will say Zayam, and then some will say Ziam. Like many people will say Ziam. But some people, maybe Guakas area, they will say Zayam. Can you Guaka? Zayam. But this one is Zayam. This is the standard spelling. So anyone that you hear anything like that is always EA that is inside. The words are plenty. Plenty. Words like very good. Nya, nya, nga. Phonetically, phonetically it will be like this. And then nga. So I don't know, maybe we'll have an I sound inside. Nyang. Nyang kan? Nyang. Yeah. No, okay, so we have a variant, Nyang, and then we have another variant, Nyang. So many people will say Nyang, some will say Nyang, and some will say Nyang, but this is the standard spelling. So it doesn't mean that they are wrong if they spell it like this. So don't accuse them that they are wrong, but they are not wrong. It's just the way they call it in their own side. They are correct on their own. But the way that we want everybody to write it is the way the Bible writes it. They use this spelling EA, not AYA underscore underscore or IYA underscore. No underscore. One. This one is under here. This is actually supposed to be like this. This is actually supposed to be like this. It's a labialized form of nga. So this is na, this is nga, this is nya, nya, and then this is mwa, mwa, nya, nga, na. So what I'm getting confused here is the second engine there, second this one sound, yes, that's the engine, right? Nga. Has given the sound. Nga. So the first part also carries the same sound. This one, this is na, 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 this is na. Okay, if you are trying to na yourself, yeah, no, no, right? Yes. Okay, in a sentence, thereby you're trying to say you did something. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So So now it still boils down to no, not grammar now. A traditional way of writing it, just like Atangwat. We all know that acceptability. Okay, thank you. You have brought it. So I need a copy. I need a copy of the book. Yeah. Okay. No, just stretch from here, man. So if you open to your book and you get to, if you get to page 9, you are going to see the characteristics of an effective orthography. So every orthography has to be accurate. And then you see why, or an example of accuracy in English and in Tyap, probably no, in English mainly. And then consistency in spelling. You have to be consistent when you are spelling. And then convenience, conformity, and acceptability. So even if it is not convenient, it's not accurate. And we gave an example of, okay, it was when we were doing the review, but we have an example of a word in the Polish language. You know, Polish language is a bastard language in terms of spelling. The spellings are just too crazy. Uh, there's a YouTube. Um, oh, just okay. Can I? Okay. So there are some crazy spellings in the Polish language, and some of them you will not be able to read them if you don't understand the orthography of the language. So just look at this spelling for goodness sake. How will somebody pronounce this one? So this is a cluster even. How? But in their language, this one is s and then this one is t, t. But if you combine them like this, they have another sound entirely. So now look at an example. Look at an example here. How do you pronounce this one? This is how to pronounce it. Jidbo. Jidbo. J. This is J. D. B. Wo. Jidbo. It's the same thing. That's the pronunciation. So in Polish, when you have the L sound, I mean letter L that is crossed, that's W. And then if you have letter Z like this with an accent, with the acute accent, that is J. And then if it doesn't have an acute accent, that is T, TS. So now look at this one. Grisgo or Gritsgo. Gritsgorts. Or let's see how to pronounce it if it is even available. How do you pronounce? Let's see, how do you pronounce? How do you pronounce? So they broke it down into syllables. So sounds like gje. But why are they putting R? Oh. And then j is soft. Okay, gje. How do you soften it? What? And then like S, vision. Oh, vision. Okay, like vision. Vision. Gishe. And then gors, they spell it like gosh. Why not just spell it like this? And then this is gishe gosh. Not because of their tongue, it's acceptability. That's the last characteristics of a good orthography. If they accept it, maybe the Polish Academy of Language or Languages accepted it. This is how we should spell it. That's the way they spell it. Whether it's comfortable, it's not comfortable. So long as they accept it, everybody has to use it. Then they will learn it how to pronounce it. So the same thing with Hungarian, Magyar. They also have those crazy spellings, but I'm not sure their craziness is more than Polish. And another thing is that some countries or some languages, because they have bitter history with their neighbors, they want to spell differently with their neighbors. Like our people here, they don't want to. Yeah, like our people. This is cha. This is cha. Cha can be written like this. Cha can be written like this. But because Hausa language spells their ch sound with C, many people don't want here because of the bitter history. So the same thing with Polish and Germans. They have a very bitter history, you know. So the for many years Poland was not in the map. It was completely wiped out of the map, and it was under German rule. So now they have changed everything Germanic, and then they have now created their own is just different from German, different, like East and West. So many history usually creates, but I don't know about the orthography, the current orthography, whether it was recently they spelled it like this or it has been like this for a very long time. I don't know. But Polish is very close to Russian language. They are all Slavic languages. But Polish has a lot of German infiltration inside it. So, well, that's acceptability. So, if our people tomorrow choose to spell chat like this, if tomorrow they choose to spell it like this, tomorrow they choose to spell it like this, or they choose to spell it like this, that's acceptability. Whether it is convenient or not, acceptability will cancel everything to that thing. So no apology. The same thing with English. Even though English people no more say kni anymore, they just say ni instead of kni. They still didn't delete this K because everybody wants to spell it traditionally, or they have agreed to spell it traditionally as they used to call it before, but pronounce it as they call it now. The same thing with this knifer. This is knifer, not knife. This is knifer. That's how they used to call it before. Maybe during Shosa's time, Geoffrey Shosa's time, they call it like this. But currently, they call it like this. And then they call this one like this. That's acceptability. They choose to have it like this. English. So this is the pronunciation. This is the native pronunciation. But this is current spelling. They don't spell it like this, even though they pronounce. It used to be the Shakespeare before Shakespeare was born, like 300 years before Shakespeare. Yes. So he's among the most prominent English writers of their time. So his works were like 1370s or so, I don't know, around that 14th century. And Shakespeare was around 17th century, 1611, and so on and so forth. So Shakespeare, I think he was existing when King James was the king. King James became king in the year 1604, 1601 or so. They were the same contemporaries. They were contemporaries around the same era. So that was when English language, after that period, began to change around the 18th century. Maybe, I don't know the reason why. But there are other communities in America that still speak that King James English. They call it Appalachian English. Uh, the Scottish is different. That's Scots. And then you have the English people themselves who migrated to America, the Appalachians, because they have very big mountain range. So they lived on the other side of the mountain range. So civilization was just coming and passing, it wasn't reaching there. So they kept on speaking that old English. So you also have the Ebonics, African American English. That one is also, it's not really, it's not a standard English office. They call it Ebonics. So the way they speak, even their accent is different. So America itself has at least three dialects. There are many dialects, apart from the standard one they use for writing. That one is the one from New York and all those industrial areas. But southern USA, Ebonics, and then the other side, Appalachian, around close to I think California also. And they still have other sides that also have their own Louisianian English, also that have French inside. So every language has many dialects. So, but then we only have one standard for writing. So in Tyap, we have about 7 dialects. So many people will not really understand because our language is very primal in terms of development. So Yoruba has the same thing, Igbo has the same thing. Igbo has, I think Igbo should have more dialects than Yoruba because only in Ebonyi alone, I think Ebonyi still has more than any other Igbo area. They have Eza, they have Izi, they have Abakaliki, they have Ikwo, and then they have Korin. In fact, Korin is another language entirely. Those ones are not even Igbo. They are not Igbo. You still have Idoma in Ebonyi. Yeah, and Enugu even in Suka they even speak Igala. Yeah, they used to be under Igala rule before. So the Ata used to rule all of them before. And some of them they are actually Igbo. In fact, Asaba itself is Igala name, Achaba. So you have a lot of Delta Igbo, they are actually Igala. But now they just speak Igbo. And but if there are festivals of Igala, they go. But they speak Igala, all their names, they are Igbo names. So they don't call themselves Delta Igbo. So those people, they are just a mix of Igala, Edo, and Igbo themselves. So 3 mixed together. Very well. So everywhere you go. So in our own area, we have about 7 dialects. And so we have these ones here. And then we have for and then you. So ordinarily, Jew is supposed to be part of this very group, even though there's a larger group, they call it the Tiapic languages. So the Tiapic languages consist of Tiap and Jew. So those are the Tiapic languages, Tiap and Jew. Now under Tiap itself, then we then have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, huh? 1, 2. Okay, then we have Checherak. Oh, oh. So we have Checherak also. So this one, the Mabalodo is just to kind of separate it from this very one, Tiap. But Mabalodo is actually, you all know what Mabalodo is, right or wrong? Or wrong. Okay, so there's an area in a Tiap land, they call that very area Mabalodo. So that very Mabalodo, it has a tree that looks like this. And if you look at the emblem of the Tiap chiefdom, you are going to see something like this. there's a tree here. That tree is called the Okum Mabododo. That area where it is found is called Mabododo. And then that tree is Okum. And Okum is silk cotton. The silk cotton tree is usually a very big tree, a giant tree that has like thorns on it. So that Maborodo, uh, before the coming of the white people, whenever the clans want to make discussions about their lands or about a particular, important thing, they will all sit. There are about 4 or 5 stones around that place where the clan heads, each clan with one representative. So when they sit under that tree, they make their discussion and deliberation. That's like their house of assembly. So that Mabolode, I don't know how the name came about, but probably if you are to break that name, the etymology of that name, maybe but I don't know, it's just a thought. Mabodo thought. What does it Odo mean? Probably is it Odo? That's Okursaga. Odo, that's Dodo now. I don't know. Probably is the corruption of the word Dodo that now transformed to that Odo. But it's kind of many, much. So is it that is the people or the household of people who are very, very judicious? Or what exactly? We really don't have any documentation. So different people bring their own idea that it actually can mean this, it can mean that, but we don't know what it means. So we were looking at a situation because we were having a discussion with Dr. John Philip Hayab also, because in the Hiam group also they have many dialects as well. So they have the Taham. He was the one that created that later. So the Taham is just like the ham on the boundary or something, or on the other side of the river, Gurara. And then they have the Knock they have the Kenny, they have the Choli, and then they have many of them. But there's no common name amongst all these people. So the ones that are actually the Hiam, they're actually the ones around, is it um no, not quite. Dadu, those are the Hiam. Those are the Ham people. So, but then somehow you have to integrate all this one because they all understand themselves. Even though sometimes they have difficulty understanding, but still they are still the same people. It's just the migration. As this one migrates far away from the other one, they begin to meet new neighbors and then begin to borrow the new neighbors' language. Before you know it, they begin to replace some certain words as people are saying Hadanundio instead of Tumnundio. So the same thing. So instead of saying ba, for example, some of them will say bam, that's for come. And even to build something, some of them will say lit, no, lit is head. Uh, uh, shan is shan. And some of them will say shan or something. No, that's not a good example. San head. And then some for head, liti. Some of them will say riti or richi. No, richi is tomorrow now. Tomorrow. Riti. Some will say Riti, some will say Liti, LR, just like Ju and Tiap. But what now brought the rift between Tiap now and Ju is the syntax. The syntax is not the same thing. Ju is the only one that has a different syntax of all these ones, all these Tiapic languages. So we have a word like, well, I like to use this one, sir. It's the same thing, no. But look at the chart here and then look at the Ngu here. Even you, the listener, you get confused. What are you trying to say? So maybe Baransan, Baransan just mix the whole thing and then say, let's begin to speak like this. But you actually is using a syntax that is common with Rigwe also. So probably Tiap is the one that changed the thing. Maybe. Because it seems like the original language, because Igbo also has this kind of syntax, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But Yoruba has this syntax. Hausa has this syntax, and most language, English has this syntax. But Ju has this syntax. I think Igbo also has this syntax. And Rigwe has this syntax. Rigwe is that language of Miango. And historically, Ju, Rigwe, Izere, they are all used to live around the same area. And Tyap is just by the corner, so all of them they were just around the same corner. But the Tyap speakers, part of them migrated from the Jos Plateau, and part of them said they didn't migrate from anywhere. They can't even remember where they came from. But when these ones came from the Jos Plateau and met this one, they were all speaking the same thing. So that means that the whole area before was speaking the same language. Isn't it? That's common sense now. But we don't know the period in which the division happened. Who migrated first from this area? Because probably they were all the same family, but one part of the family expanded and then migrated and stayed with a foreign language, and then begin to mix again. Then later on they now mix. But there's another factor that caused this mixture or this confusion. This our region, if you look at our population, is very low. Why is it so? Slave raiding. Slave raiding didn't start today. It has been there for more than, if I'm not mistaken, more than 700 years. Has been long since they have been raiding our people. A long time. So when they pack them, you see the population of Zaria is high. Who do you think are there? Who do you think are there? They are the ones there. The people who pack them from here, they mix them, and then the language is dead. Everybody is seen. Then they pack them to Kano and then to Sokoto. These are the major centers, these three centers. If you check the population of these regions, they are very high and very, very, they don't just take them there. Some of them, they sell them across the Atlantic Ocean to the Arabs, and then they take them through Libya. Today, if you go to Georgia, Georgia is a country in Asia, in between Asia and Europe, though. They have a particular area, they are all black people there. Who do you think are there? It's our people from West Africa here. If not only our people, but this West African region. And if you look at the Moroccan area also, they have black people there. Where are they from? They are from this region. They depopulated this region in order to populate those areas with slaves. So that's how we lost people. And then in the process, the people, maybe when they come to slave raid, they will move from this settlement to a place where there's a mountain. That's why you see wherever you find a mountain, that's where you find our people plenty. Because that's a refuge for them. But after the jihad of Sokoto, or during the jihad of Sokoto, most of them were in refuge in the mountain areas. So, according to the German travelers that traveled around this our region, that most of the people, they're actually living in the mountain, in the mountains there. But when they farm, they'll go down to the slopes to farm their crops. Then these raiders will come, and then they'll, like, when the people see them, they will run to the mountain. Then they'll threaten them, if you don't send like 30 people from here, we'll burn all these crops. So this issue of going to stop people from farming is not today. It has been a continuous thing. They just reintroduce it back. That's how they have been doing it. And nobody wants to sleep hungry. So they have to look for maybe they look for the ones that they don't like and then push them so that they'll sell them over to Sokoto so that those raiders will leave their food alone. And sometimes they don't get lucky. So later on, they now discover, okay, the people that have this hole. I don't know how many of you have seen your great grandmother or grandmother with that hole in the mouth here. Yes. So the people that have hole like this, they don't used to catch them because when they sell them to the slave market, their value is very tiny. I know the cost of a horse and the cost of a human being. Horse can cost 20 bags of cowries or 20,000 cowries. The human being will just cost like 12,000. So horse was more expensive than human being. So if you have horse, they will kidnap your horse first before they will kidnap the human being. So everything you are seeing today, those kidnapping, all those burning of people's farm, is not today's work. They have been doing it over the years, and that's the reason why you see most people the same language, but they will leave this area and go to a safer place, and then before you know it, they are living with foreign people, and then their language begin to change again. Of all this country, the whole of Nigeria, this our region has the most languages because we are closer to the boundary of all those disruptions. You can see, you can understand the whole politics now. And today you see that Israel that is even a bit far away, we don't share boundary. Israel speakers and Tyap speakers, they are not sharing boundary, but Israel is closer to Tyap in terms of similarity than Rigwe is. That's, Jarawa, those one with Shodnika, yellow, yeah. They are their language is Izere and the people Afizere. Afi, person. No, person is, I don't know whether Afi is person, but Aner is person. But I don't know what Afi means. Maybe it's a noun class. But the people are Afizere and then the language is Izere. Their language is about 76% lexically similar with Tiab. Meanwhile, Rigwe, that is just at the boundary there, is about 66%. And they say that they came from around this region. And Tiap, some of them, they say they came from the Plateau. So who is true? Who is saying the truth? So probably they have mixed up themselves with migrations to the point that they can't even understand where, and nobody can tell you these are ancestors. And even Baranzan seems to be like a those leaders that would lead the army or something. And then small time now you see they are the children of so and so person, even though he's not like you say that the Jews are the children of David or something. Even though he's not the progenitor, because Baranzan would be like a recent figure, but the Belgium have been existing, and you can't really say the Belgium started from Baranzan or so. Just like Yoruba will say Odudua. The Odudua is a recent figure, and Odudua went and met people who were speaking Yoruba already. So how did Yoruba people come for Odudua? So it's just like those kind of mythical figures that now become like the father of the clan figuratively, and then people will now take it literally. Just like Hausa will say that they are from Bayajida. But Bayajida came and met Hausa people there. So how did Hausa people then come from Bayajida? That was when they discovered the River Niger. So, yeah, so those. They so who took it here? They discovered it for him now. So, he was an Arab, but probably he became the first king of Daura, and maybe he introduced the act of kingship to Hausa land. But before Bayajida became a king in Hausa land, Kanuris have been ruling Hausas. That's why you have Galadima. Those are Kanuri words, they are not Hausa words. You have Shetima. Shetima is a Kanuri word, not Hausa word. In fact, the amount of Kanuri words in Hausa language should be close to 30%. Like there's a write of about 30%. And sometimes even the pluralization, like Kanawa, those our, these are Kanuri pluralization, patterns. It's not Hausa. So where did the Hausa even come from? Nobody knows. So it's just like the Hausa is just like our people here moved there and a new language because of trade with Arabs. Nobody knows because the history is not written. So we are just trying to, because Wikipedia that we do, we have to be very vast in history. If you are to edit English Wikipedia article that have to do with history, and it's because of Wikipedia that I even like know some of this one, because it will push you to go deeper and to research for these materials. And recently, those German travelers that used to travel, because those ones used to travel more than any other person during the pre-colonial era, and that very period, they wrote a lot of material. So recently, they are beginning to digitize them and put them online free for people to access. So now, those documents that were not accessible before, now they are accessible online. even the whole of the colonial records of Lolugat in 1904 is online now. The colonial record of, is it December or so of 1904? Everything you see, how much is coming from this region, from where, and everything is there. So I think we are going to stop here for now, but I'll give you a test first before we stop. Then we'll do a little of this archive script today. Before our lunch is here already. Is it up to 1 or 2 o'clock? Lunch is 1. Okay, so we started late. We started just 1 hour before. Are we hungry? Oh, okay. So open your book and then write mark at the top. Mark, that's test. Mark. Mark ake Maya. That's mark. Write mark. Don't spy you. When you write, you underline. Mark. A K. A K. Mark. I noticed that most of us, when we were learning English, we learned English through 2 ways. There are some that learned English through cramming the words individually, and then there are those who learned English through the sounds. So if if you learn English through the sounds, you find it easy to spell anything. But if you learn English through cramming the sounds or the words, some words you will not be able to. So it's good to still go back again to learn sounds again. Letter A gives us A, letter B gives us B. B. M, A, E, K, K. So write mark, and then number 1. Write a fuck. A fuck. A fuck. Yes. Number 1, a fuck. A fuck. A fuck. A. A. Then number 2, right? Put the dick. Put the dick. Put the dick. Put the dick. Put the d y k. Put the dick. But if I say you should write okpa, 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 you write okpa. It's the same sound now. Yeah. Put the dick. We have E, we have E. There's E, there's E. Put the dick. And then number 3, right? A jing. A jing. A jing. Jing. A jing. A deer. Deer. A d. Y. I. Ng. A jing. A d. I. No. A d. Y. I. Ng. A jing. A jing. Koba jing. Koba jing. Then number 4, right? A bedendang. A bedendang. A b. A d. A d. A na. A bedendang. Okay. Okay, janitor. That's 4 or 5 now. Okay, 4. But then dang. Then number 5, right? Kyang Wak. Kyang Wak. Oh, it was written before now. Yes. So right Kyang Wak. That's family now. That's Kyang Wak. That's K Y A Nga B. Wu A K. Kyang Wak. And then number 6. Number 6, right? Ododo. It's a simple one. Ododo. Ododo. D. O. D. O. Ododo. Ododo. Then number 7. Number 7. Right? Nyang. 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 Scorpion. Okay, nyang. Okay, nyang. Right? Nyang. Nya. A. Ng. Just 3 sounds. Nya. A. Ng. Nyang. And then number 7. Or number 8. Right? Aracho. Aracho. A. R. Show. A. R. A. No, sorry. A. R. E. Then ch. Y. U. Aracho. That's the way to call a dog, can you? And then number 9. Number 9. Aracho. Cho. 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 Ch. Y. U. Cho. Aracho. And then number 9. Agbeninian. Agbeninian. A. B. E. N. I. N. I. Y. I. Nga. Agbeninian. Ang jawabkan ni. Agbeninian. Nian. Oh. So that's right what you can hear. Agbeninian. And then Zuam. 10. Zuam. Z. Z. U. U. O. N. Zuam. 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 You get 15 today. Then 11. 11. 11. Agade. Okay, Arabudi. Okay, okay, write Agade first, then you write Arabudi. Agade. D. Then number 12. Arabudi. R. B. D. Arabudi. Then number 13. Ayui. A U. A U. Oh, a U. That's a river. A R. I. U. I. A R. I. U. I. A U. A U. Sorry. A U. Okay, then number 14. A hoot. A hoot. A hoot. A who. That's a h w u h w u t. Yeah, it is inside. A h w u h w u t. A hoot. And then the last one, a boso. A boso. A b o s o. A boso. Okay, a digit. A b d j. Number 2. I can't remember even. But the can. Okay, a digit. A digit. A digit. Okay, so congratulations. I don't know whether you exchange it with your neighbor, then you mark it. Exchange it. Yes, exchange it with your neighbor and mark it. Yes, switch the. Okay, classwork. Okay. No, don't worry. Just mix it. Just mix it. Don't worry. So the first word. The first word is what? What is the first word? Uh, okay, exchange first. Yeah. Yeah. Opposite. Okay, just correct it now. Opposite. Opposite. So everybody, the number 2 is opposite. 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 So you forgot. Oh. 3, 2, 1, press. Okay, so number 1, who can give us the word? Oh, fuck. Then number 2. Okay. It's not correct. If it's not there, it's not correct. Yeah. So, fuck. Then number 2 is opposite. PDD. Eh? Wait, where's my pen? Where's my phone? There's only one correct form now in here. Where's my phone?
So, sir, what happened was when you said
So the phone is check here.
Yes. Because when you were back on that,
Okay.
that's why this everybody should pay attention.
Yeah, only has one correct form. All the words have meanings. So if you get a word that doesn't have a meaning here, then don't worry. Don't worry. If it is a kudidik, it's correct. If it is kudidik, it's correct. It's ringing somewhere.
Yeah. So that's it.
Okay, okay. Okay, you are recording with it.
No.
Okay, I don't. Okay, thank you. Okay. So, you say it's a PDD. Let's check the New Testament because the spelling has to concur. Okay. So, I'm gonna. Hmm. Duke. Hmm. Okay. So we have it like this. Duke. Hmm. Even though now we are adjusting the word to like this, I understand. Then the third word is what? Adjunct. This adjunct. Then number 4. What's the word? Agbadandang. 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 Then number 5. Kyangbuak. So if somebody writes in the hyphen, it's still okay. If the person spaces it, it's still okay. And if you put it together, it's still okay. So Kyangbuak. Then number 6. Oh, Ododo. Ododo. Ah, it's still okay. It's still okay. Then number 7. Nyang. Nyang. Then number 8. Show. Then number 9. Bu ne niyang niyang abunin kan abunin. Then number 10. Drum. Okay, drum. Drum. Then number 11. Agadi. Then number 12. Then number 14. Okay, okuput. Okuput. Uh, then number 15. Ogboso. So this word in Tyap, this one is like an appetizer. Can you? A dessert. Can you? Appetizer of a or a can. And then this one is something that is heavy. Oh, and then this one is like what? What does this one mean? What does this one mean? A gym. Are we listening? Okay. A gym, that's like a complaint. Complaint. Complaints. Complaint. Complaint. This is a gym complaint. A kudijik is heavy, something heavy, something weighty. And then but then dang, like there is like a higher degree of bandang, a very big 3 complaints. Complaints. Then to complain a complaint or to lay a complaint, that's kwop ejim. Kwop is the to lay. And the Obadandang is big or big to a larger extent. And then Kiabag is family. And then Ododo is too much or plenty or something. Plentiful. And then Nyang is scorpion. Then Aracho is to call a dog. It's a word for calling a dog. And then Obuninium. You want to hear Obuninium? You see? Yeah. Oh, that's lich. The word has disappeared from my head. It just you know, those green algae, those green algae. I think it should be Spirogyra. Okay, not Spirogyra. Okay, tadpole. Oh, tadpole. Tadpole. That's the young ones of frogs. That's tadpole. Put it heavy or weighty. And then Zom is elephant. Then Agade is a surprise or miracle or wonders. And then everybody, when you that's bad luck, everybody. Even though the Bible translates it as miracle, but that's actually it's positive and negative ahead. Something that is not so expected. Everybody, something bad luck or something. Something bad luck. Everybody. Okay. Then is river. Okukut is niche, the plural form of okut. And then Ogboso is mold. Can you? Earthworm mold. Those ones that earthworm used to, those round something. That's mold. Ogboso wala. So okay, don't worry. I understand what you mean. So if it is like this, just mark it also correct. Mark. Okay. Okay, spell it like mark this one, mark this one. Sure. With an O. Anyone is still okay. Still mark it. With an extra O or without the extra O, still mark that one. Plenty. If there's no underscore, don't mark it. Good. It's wrong. 14 is plural form of knees. Of knee. Singular is knee, and then plural form is knees. Okay. That's a surprise or miracle. and surprise. No, it has to be like this. If you know, you put that one. Okay. Sorry. This one is wrong. I'm the one. Okay, so that one is bonus for everybody. Can you? This is the correct one. So the Bible spells it the other way around. A jing. A jing. So that's our new one. Koba jing. A jing. Okay, not all of them correct because the Bible will spell it the other way around. And then the new one that we are working on is NN. DI underscore NG. Well, N1 is bonus. Number 3 bonus. So this one is bonus mark. So if you chop 0, at least you get 1. Eh? So score the person know and then put your signature. Score and put signature. They are all part of your assessment. So are we done? So maybe we'll just briefly do that Akai screen, then we'll chop our food with that. Can you? So let's just do that Akai and then we'll just chop food. No, NIY. It's not be a Benin. No, this a nying. This a nying. 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 Nying.
So that should be end again. Because since
Is it a Benin nying? Or
millennium,
no, it's one N now. There's no extension.
yes.
Okay, we don't. You don't have to score everything now. So let's move to the last one before we talk football. But you have done this upper one. Okay.
What you have seen, check it. Yeah, I told that.
Uh, it's too rough. It paints the wall big. Are you done with copying? Nitiaga. So so for the Mabarado, some people will say or most people will say Mabarado because but and ado, barado, it sounds like D and D. It's like an R has come inside probably, but the spelling will just spell it as do instead of barado with an R because the barado would not have any meaning here. Don't have any meaning, but spelling ado it makes more sense in the language. So the Gorok, the phantom, or they said the actual word for their language is Golok, not Gorok. There's no Golok, it's Golok. They don't even seem to have R most times. Yes, it's L. It's usually L, but the Gorok are made up of 2 major clans, the Nkwai and the Pashan. The Nkwai, they are the smaller one, and then you have the Pashan, which are the bigger ones. But the Nkwai, they are the original ones. They're the Pashan, they are mainly Atia people and Bajo people. And then some other people that came in, but they are majorly Tyap people. So maybe those ones when they came with their own pronunciations, and then since they are major in population, they pronounce it Borok, maybe Bonjour influence, and then they pronounce it as Borok instead of Bolok. But the umpire call it Bolok, and it's actually their own that should actually be the standard way. Yeah, no, because they are the real original. Even though now everybody is original, okay now, but by origin, uh, it's fair enough to say Golok instead of Borok. But actually, the Borok is the one that is more used, but probably they will change it with time. Mm. That's why even if they want to say Barak, for example, or Burup, they'll say Bulup instead of Burup. Bulup. Okay. So can I clean the board now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Tom, go ahead. Two major, but all of them have subclans. Onkwai and Pashan. Pashan. Onkwai. Pashan. So here they have the Mingyo, they have the Tafan or something. There are plenty in subclans. This one's also have. So this one is the custodian of the Oboe, and then this one they are the ones ruling the kingship. Oboe, their Oboe is Oboe, and then these ones they are the ones who are having the kingship. Okay, Oboe, that's the juju now. The religion, that's a traditional religion. Just like the Oku, is of course. So, okay. It depends on who defined it.
Because it was not
It's a religion, it's a religion because everything that religion is, just like
there is initiation.
even Christianity is there no initiation.
So something way be like
It depends on who is ruling. The one that rules his own is the legal. The one that is not ruling his own is a court. So before we do that one, I don't know whether you'd be interested or we should just jump to the boy. We should do small boy story. We should do small boy story. Or everybody is not interested. It's only actually that is interested. We should do a boy story. Okay. So like so in traditional religion, there are two walls that existed. The one that is on top of the ground and the one that's under the ground. Okay, let's draw it like this instead. Ehen. So there were two walls according to the story. The wall of the on top here and the wall of below here. The wall of on top they call it swanta, can you? And then the one of the below they call it a chair. Your husband's name. That's on the okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the world on top where living people are, and then the one that dead people are this stature, the underworld, and then the people down here that they call them Anyamobi Kanye, Anyamobi, or another stature, and then the ones that are here Anyan Swambia Kanye. an addition. Oh, so an addition here is one and then moving or an toucher are here. And then also here they have a group of people here that helps them to communicate with the God on top. And then they also have a group of people that help them to communicate with this one here. So this one they call them the auxiliary language. And then for the Rigwe, they call their own Benin. And then for the Adara, they call their own Onom. And then for the Hiam speakers, they call their own Onom. These are just few, but I don't know how the Nizam call their own. What's the name for God? Yeah. Abachi. That's father of son. It could be because Abba is father.
So what is cheat?
That should be son. It could be son actually. So even Atam Akanya Ange Bonin Montam no God the word for God in Atam. What is father of son in uh yes. No, that's in Atam. That's how they call their own God, father of the son, just like Adam. Okay, don't worry. So what happens here is Adam means father, Bawe. So Bawe can you? Mhm. So this one means father, and this one means son. Then this one is son. This one is son. This one is father, and then this is son. This is father. This is son. This is father. This is son. Then at the listen here, there different words for father. Can you, as we learned. So the actual words for father now, we have them like this. So I don't know when it started, but it seems to be a new word. Then we have this one borrowed from another language. But these are the few ones that we have. There are plenty of. Can you also